Hi everyone, welcome back for another Star Trek Starships collection review. Actually, this time it's a special edition. At long last, I have in front of me the USS Kelvin. Yes! Finally came in today along with the shuttlecraft. So I have those and I look forward to sharing those with you. But for now, let me just get to the Kelvin. The magazine and the colossal model here, so I'll put this aside for a moment. And here's the Kelvin, USS Kelvin, as seen in Star Trek, the 2009 movie, produced and directed by J.J. Abrams. So let's see, here it is. USS Kelvin, NCC 054, it is a light cruiser. It was destroyed in 2233 alternate. It is 315 meters long and Captain Robau. Turn the page. The usual how to mount the model to the stand and more specification information. Considered a light cruiser with a crew of 800. Its mission was a stellar survey. It has phaser emitters and photon torpedoes. Turn the page and a really neat image of the ship there. One that may have been seen before, but I don't think I recall seeing it in the Art of Star Trek, the book that came out a few years ago. And there is Thor himself down there, for those of you Marvel and Chris Hemsworth fans out there. And the designing of the Kelvin, kind of funny. I'm sorry for my little smirk there, but I was kind of expecting a little bit more in this magazine. But there's a really cool image there, screenshot from the film. There's a lot of conceptual artwork there, a whole lot. Different design phases this ship went through, as well as text about that down below. Interesting designs here. And more conceptual artwork and designs and more text. And more conceptual artwork, design, and text. And another one. Big image and more text. And some more cool images there. And here's a part talking about the destruction of the ship and the various battle damage and so on and so on and so on. And that is how the magazine ends. Complete with the image of the ship on the back. Now, I've always wondered, and I'm sure this has been up for debate, but the USS Kelvin, we all know that the 2009 Star Trek film, for those of you who are familiar with it and those of you who are diehard Trek fans like myself, know that it's pretty much an alternate timeline, which basically started by the events at the beginning of the movie. Ultimately, the destruction of this ship caused the timeline to change or go off in another direction, depending on how you want to look at it. So the question is the USS Kelvin considered canon? Like, meaning canon like, is it part of the original timeline, the prime timeline? I've always wondered about that, and it seems to be up for debate in the fan community. So anyway, that's the magazine, and let me look at the ship itself. And as usual, it comes in a rather large size box. Of course, this is a special, so these specials come in bigger boxes. I guess for these sizes, everything. Has the usual Star Trek logos on the front and sides, and disclaimers telling children not to eat it nor feed it to dogs or anything like that. So Opening the box. Ah. And here is the model itself. Pretty cool. Looky at that. The metal component, primarily the saucer section, which is like 90%. The bottom part is plastic. And of course, this engineering section is also plastic. And this, I don't know what to call this. Primary hull, secondary hull, shuttle bay, I don't know what to call it. Excuse me. This is the warp nacelle. What's wrong with me? And this is the secondary hull. The way the ship is designed is very easy to get it backwards. So this is the USS Kelvin. Looks awesome, I think. The detail is pretty good. The paint job is also pretty good. I know they went for that worn down look, I guess. I mean, it clearly looked like it's a ship that's been around for a while, even in the movie. The best analogy that I can think of is probably like an old beat-up truck that's still in use. And for those of you who are familiar, or even not even familiar with the J.J. Abrams movies, even non-Star Trek movies, he has a habit of putting the name Kelvin in pretty much any project that he does, because Kelvin is the name of his father. So in various other movies, you'll see references, or something is named Kelvin. I think in Star Trek Into Darkness, the building that the terrorist blows up in the movie is called the Kelvin Building, among other things. So nice little piece of trivia there. Looks pretty cool. This is a ship that has been released before. Not by Eaglemoss, of course. It was released by Hot Wheels. They released a version of this ship, and I think Hallmark put out one a while back. So this is not the first time that the Kelvin has been out on the market, but I would go far as to say that this is probably the best version, and certainly the largest. I like the detail on it. I love the registry information there. You got it on the warp nacelle or warp pod or whatever it is. On that side, it's also, I think that's it. It's also right here on the top of the saucer section. And the paint looks pretty good. Unfortunately, this ship was only in like the movie for about 10 minutes. So we really don't know much about it, other than the fact that this glows nice and blue in the back when the ship is like going to impulse or warp. And I'm guessing this is the Bassard collector, and of course the deflector dish, and the main shuttle bay, which is in the back there, which could have used a little improvement on the model. I mean, it's just kind of bare and plain, not that big of a deal. Also, the impulse engines, or whatever this is painted red. I could have put a little piece of red plastic in there, but I'm just being really nitpicky about it. But you know what? It's pretty cool. I'm happy with it. I'm glad that Eaglemoss put it as part of the collection. You know, it's, if I had one ship out of the J.J. Abrams movies, a Star Trek ship, a Starfleet ship to like out of that, it's ironically not the Enterprise or the J.J. Prize, as those of us fans who dislike the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies have come to call it, the J.J. Prize. I actually like the Kelvin more. Maybe it's because in the back of my mind I'm thinking, oh, it's part of the original timeline. I don't know. Or maybe it's because it looks more Starfleety. It looks more like something that would have been around back in the 23rd century, before Kirk's time. I don't know. But I like it. And I like the design of it. And not to make a joke out of it, but it almost looks like a pizza cutter. I can just see this rolling back and forth across a pizza. Maybe that was the inspiration. I don't know. But, so yeah, that's the USS Kelvin. Really nice model. Kudos, Eaglemoss. If you're a fan of the J.J. Abrams movies, Star Trek movies, definitely pick this up. If you're, of course, a subscriber to the collection, you might want to check online because that's how I got this. Unfortunately, due to the massive data migration that happened a few months ago from the UK to the US, Eaglemoss unfortunately lost a lot of data in terms of which US subscribers were getting these specials because these were actually a part of the collection for subscribers. And now it seems that they've lost some of that data. So, and it's a major pain in the ass to have to call the customer service, the US group, and try to track this down. So it seemed a lot easier to just go online to the web shop and order it. And within the span of a few days, barring an incident with the post office having lost the package, I finally got it. So, which I'm sure is a lot quicker than waiting for it to come as part of the subscription. So, again, if you're a subscriber and you haven't received any of your specials, it's probably better just to go to the website. It's a lot easier and quicker. So yeah, that's the USS Kelvin. Pretty cool. A worthy addition. Probably one of the better specials. I certainly like this more than the Vengeance, and I definitely like this more than the Klingon ship special that was the last time. So that's cool. And I think the next special that will be coming out in the collection is the NX-01 refit, which will be awesome. I've always wanted that since I first saw the design. So that'll be cool. And as usual, the model comes with the plastic stand thingy, and of course the stand that comes with it. And the sticker at the bottom has the name and registry information. So yeah, that's the USS Kelvin. Next time I hope to share with you the shuttles which are nearby, and hopefully my Romulan Bird of Prey and Borg Tactical Cube, which I believe are issues 55 and 56, should be here shortly. So I look forward to sharing that with you too. So until then, catch you guys on the flip side and live long and prosper.